Warm greetings from the high 10. It's Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. I hope you all are well out there. Hope you're having a very safe and blessed Friday and continue to have a blessed and safe weekend. I was going to go live this evening before I ventured out to talk about the Academy, what they're going to do with Mr. Will Smith, because I got that notification late last night after I went live. And today was supposed to be my relaxed day. No such thing with the Queen. And I was in the YouTube queue just now, and I decided to discuss loyalty. You see, many don't care about loyalty. Many don't care about loyalty with people who appear crazy, delusional, sicko, wacko, sociopath, psychopath. And I brought you all commentary the other night about the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath. And they mimic what is expected of them. They laugh, they cry, they moan, they complain. They're self-serving each. And that is what you have with Candice Wells. I was sitting here, eating lunch, late lunch, and I was saying to myself, I actually feel sorry for her. And that is something the Queen rarely has for this type of human being. But I remember having this feeling a year or so ago about O.J. Simpson, because my mind told me, O.J. did that. Now, 20-some years ago, you didn't think that he did, but he did that. He killed that lady. He killed his ex-wife and her friend. And so I'm thinking that now about Candace. You killed that baby, but yet you are a human being with emotions, whether I like it or not. The rumor is that you're trying to date or you're looking at date sites. That's your preference. That's your business. Of course, everybody knows the Queen's on a date site. Doesn't mean anything. Easy to judge and say who would want her. As I read in someone's comment section today, that something broad kind of made me laugh because it was funny. But the point is that dizzy broad, that lame broad, that nasty broad, whatever you want to call her, excuse my language, is married to a man. And that man chose her many moons ago with longer hair, mid-length hair, which is, however, do you see where I'm going with this? Because there's always somebody for somebody. And I might be talking around in circles, so forgive me, I'm a little bit tired. Sick people have emotions. So many are probably going to judge this commentary, so-called associate coming out telling her business to Mr. BK, her brother from another mother, which is very sick to me. Everything about this case is sick to me. And as I said, it's never been about the child. It's never been about Summer Wells. It's about these delusional people who brought her here and the delusional people who have gotten in cahoots with the delusional parents. And it's expected that a sick person will have emotions. Because many will say, well, what is she doing on a date site? She's married because she's lonely. Candice Bly is lonely. Haven't you figured it out? She's been lonely. She's been in a hopeless marriage where she is afflicted. The spouse is afflicted. They both evenly yoked in afflictions, plural. So nothing good can come from them except for those children they brought here. Those are probably the only good things that have ever happened to Candice Bly and Donald Wells. And by the grace of God, they are not with them. You see, there's a reason for the season. She's lonely. She's miserable. She wants a mate. See, many years ago, the same aunt that gave me that advice about somebody coming to your home and once the door is shut, he may not play fair. Well, many years ago, I was probably about 25. That's the lucky number for advice for the Queen. Everybody likes to give Queen advice at 25. I remember telling my aunt what type of man I wanted. And I was adamant, like, I want this from him. I want him to be professional. I want him to be all these things. And the one thing she said to me after I gave her the rundown of the type of man that I felt I deserved, I desired, she said, well, what are you going to bring to the table to get that type of man? It's a valid point. Because it's easy to say what we want from people, what I want, what I need, what I like, what I prefer. But are you worthy of what you're asking for? Come on, Queen, bring it to him. Because when you look at these two beings, you have to ask yourself, what in the hell were they thinking when they got together? The whales. Somebody saw something in somebody, or possibly not. Possibly the young lady just needed somebody to like her, love her. She didn't have anything. She didn't have any friends. She didn't have any family. Now you fast forward many moons later. One child missing, other 3 in the state's care, husband in jail. What does she have now but an empty box up on the hill? Just an empty box. You see, I'm going to try to do something I rarely do, which is separate a person from the sin. Because I'm a sinner. I'm flawed. I'm not perfect. I know my flaws. And one thing I will do, I acknowledge who I am. I'm very high strung. Easily irritated. Doesn't take much for me. Because I don't like foolishness. I see a lot of people don't understand that. And it's usually the people who act a fool that don't understand it. I'm going to separate the sin from the sinner. I'm going to look at Candace as a regular female wanting love, wanting to be liked, wanting true, genuine friendship. Because it's obvious that she's lonely. And naturally, most of you are going to say, I don't care. I don't give a D. I want to know where the kid is. Well, you're not going to find out where the child is. Haven't you figured it out? So all this bickering back and forth, arguing in the comments boxes, going on and on about stuff that's really irrelevant, you're never going to find out where she is. And I no longer am going to try to bang my head to wait to see who will speak first, tell it. I don't have that kind of time. But what I do know is I see a very lonely vessel on YouTube, social media. And a lot of you have been following her around in her accounts and things, trying to figure her out and learn her husband, this and that. You will never be able to figure her out because you would have to have the mindset of Candice Bly to figure her out. And unless you are mentally off, you will never be able to understand why she has no sympathy, empathy for her children. You see, you'd have to be Candice Bly and Donald Wells to understand them. So my advice to you is to stop trying to understand them. Just accept that you will never understand them. She's very ill. The husband is ill as well. She's lonely. It's obvious. If it is true that she's looking on date sites and searching for a man or just browsing, which she is grown, that she's entitled to do whatever she wants. But you find out, you get wind, if it's true, it may not even be true, who knows? You're judging her, of course. Well, what's wrong with her? Kids missing. Other kids gone. Should have better things to do with her time. Yes, she should. But she can't because she's empty and lonely and lost inside. So I'm talking from a term today of separating the sin from the sinner. Because I know that she harmed her child. I have no doubt about that. But I'm going to separate her from the act of harming Summer Wells today in this live. I'm going to separate, as I said, the sins from the sinner. You are lonely, Candace. And you've probably been lonely a mighty long time. You've probably been very lonely since childhood. You've been lonely as a teenager. You've been lonely as a young adult. And you've waded your way around in the world looking for something. And you are probably like a lot of us who probably will never admit it, but we are just as lonely as you. We're just not the subject of conversation on YouTube or the news. But my advice to you is to find yourself. You may never own what you did to your child or your other children, because I group all your children the same. You may never own it, but one day you will have to stand account. And it may not be in this life, but it will be in the next, most definitely. You're going to have to stand account. And I hope for you that God will favor you, because nobody wants to go into the abyss. Because you see, the misery that you think you're experiencing now is in no means in comparison to hell, if you actually believe in heaven and hell. God may favor you. Jesus forgave a murderer on the cross. He definitely can forgive Candice Blywell. Stay woke. Candace, you don't have any friends. You see, everybody you've come across has betrayed you. Now, I'm not going to say that you didn't deserve to be betrayed, because I'm not in your pocket to know what you're doing. But one thing I could say, before Summer went missing, there were allegations that you stole money from Allie. I don't know if that's true, but yet she stayed on. Then I had to question myself, how long would she stay friends with you after knowing that you stole her money allegedly? You see, somebody would have probably beat your ass had they known you stole their damn money. But Allie did not put her hands on you. And as I said, violence isn't the way. You should know that from dealing with Will Smith. Can't just hit people because things aren't going your way. But we do live in a world where some people act out physically. And I'm telling you, I know some people that would have drugged you. You gave that money back one way or the other. But that didn't happen to you. Your child goes missing, and all these crazy nuts jump out of clown cars trying to reach you, trying to befriend you. And I don't believe that none of them were genuine, because what I have to tell myself is to think logically of what was released to the public by the news and the demographics of how you live and where you live, and think genuinely, how did someone take your child? Well, we know nobody took your child. So I don't understand why anybody would want to be in your company, trying to be friends with you, trying to get information from you, pretending to be your friend. Because I think most of the people who have come in your company as of late were using you to get information for their channel. And don't you find it strange that most of the people who have contacted you, they're all YouTubers? You probably have had maybe one or two people contact you that did not have a YouTube channel. So that should tell you about how genuine your so-called friends have been. You've cried about the Jenna lady betraying you. Now we find out you've been in some hotel with some lady, and now she's showing screenshots or whatever text to BK, which I think is very sickening, because she was just in your company. But I knew it wouldn't last, because I know people. You see, I didn't get to 51 by accident. I didn't pop up out of the pumpkin patch at 22 or 25 years of age. It's been a long, hard road to get to where I am. And the reason why I'm good at judging people is because I've been around people such as yourself, and I know the mind of a street person. They cannot be trusted. They will betray you. They will also harm you. They will also set you up for the kill. And then they'll easily smile in your face as if they're your best friend. You see, Candace, you don't know love. That's why you're in the situation that you're in. Who's to say that many moons ago you could have been somebody important in life? But in the eyes of God, you are important. Angela don't have to like you. I don't know you. But to him, he still shows you favor. You wake up, you're still alive, you're breathing, you have a place to sleep, you have access to Wi-Fi, so you're doing pretty damn good, considering there's somebody out there homeless with no place to stay, no place to sleep. But things are not going to look up for you because you did hurt your children. So you can't get no favor there. Only God can give it to you. Man can't, because we are judging human beings. And I think it's time that you own what you've done to your child and your children. And you're going to continually get betrayed by these rats out here until you own your part. Same with your husband. He will never have any good luck either. That's why he's in jail, because he doesn't care about himself. You've known this for years, that Donald Wells has never cared for you and loved you or your children, because he has not shown you any respect, because he doesn't respect himself. And you have also switched the baton between both of you with this ratchet game you two have played, pretending to be human beings and parents. And I know you're lonely. And I expected that you would get out here and try to mate with someone, because your husband is gone. You're probably tired of him, sick of him, done with him. That's why you make your little sly comments on YouTube, giving these people, views and clicks and stuff. And they're eating it up. And that's what you don't seem to understand. That even in your worst disposition, as possibly a baby killer, these people are using you and you don't get it. But you see, what people don't get either is that you like it because you are sick. So you can't be more than what people think you should be. I tell people, stop trying to figure her out because she's ill. You're wasting your time. You see, you can't figure out a sociopath, a psychopath. There's no such thing. Dissecting, trying to put a profile together, leave that for the FBI, because your head will hurt trying to figure these people out. Candace, stop talking to these YouTubers. Stop accepting people through Messenger, letter, however, because they're not your friends, honey. They're only going to tell whatever you said. I don't care what you said in confidence, what you meant to say, what you made up. Some of the stuff may be stuff you made up. I don't know. But they're not your friends. I'm going to play Evil Exists. I'm going to thank him for the commentary to show you that there's no such thing as loyalty. And I know this better than anybody because I am a YouTuber. And I've been stung by many dealing with people off-site, offline. So I know how wicked people are. You can't trust anybody. And it's so long as a person has 2 feet, they cannot be trusted. Sadly, but it's true.
Bly has really had some seriously odd behavior, considering she is the mother of a missing 6-year-old little girl. There is no textbook definition of how one should act when their child goes missing, but this is really something else, at least in my opinion. I've got a lot of updates coming to you today, so please stay tuned. Lots of new information about Candice has come out from her friend, Shannon, who appeared on Benny Key's YouTube channel about 17 hours ago. The mere lack of concern on Candice's part should be extremely telling. It seems that Candice Bly and Shannon stayed at a hotel room at some point, because she shared this picture of what seemed to be them staying in a hotel room. Anyway, Shannon is definitely spilling the beans about Candice, and I can actually vouch for some of the statements she made, especially regarding the pictures of men being sent to her. When I looked at Candice's TikTok following, it seemed to show that men were definitely on her mind. I used to follow Candice on TikTok before she made her account private, and the accounts she followed are just so strange for a mother of a missing child. I mean, so many eyes are on her. At that time, she followed the accounts of mostly men, and I noticed one in particular, which was an account inspired by Magic Mike. Most of you have probably watched Magic Mike. This account was exactly like it, minus Channing Tatum. The new information now is that Candice was actually on some dating apps, but she wasn't using her real identity. Absolutely shocking behavior, while so many people across the world sit, pray and hope, and help to spread the word of Summer's disappearance. She also kept spamming Shannon with pictures and GIFs feed texts of men and lots of other images. Shannon shared this screenshot, which showed the messages from Candice Bly. It seems that Candice has a lot on her mind. Makes me wonder how much time she spends pleading for Summer.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. That's Evil Exists. Thank you for the content. You see, how many more names are we going to add to the list of people that have and will betray Candice Bly Wells, Donald Wells? Candice, you should be tired by now. Your friend Allie came to YouTube. Son came to YouTube. That's 2. This Jenna person, that's 3. BK's now turned on you. 4. Jody Sue's talked about you. 5. I mean, how many more people? Now this lady's 6. You only have 10 fingers. So how many more do you want to keep counting? To add to the list of people. 7 would be Jose. He didn't say nice things about you. Commentary. Your husband has made some disparaging comments about you. That's 8. I'm almost at 10 fingers. Candace, bye. So far, the only person that hasn't came out and said anything negative about you and your husband is Robin. And I don't know where she is. And I don't know about that other guy. Dobson, whomever. Flute guy. I don't think he said anything bad about you. You see, it's time to stop the nonsense with these people talking and chattering. And you and Ernie, I don't know which is worse. First, your other brother from another mother was one thing. Now, he's picked up the slack. And I do believe this is the reason why BK turned on you, because your newfound friendship with Mr. Shell. He's gotten beside himself, and his feelings are hurt. So now he's not your friend anymore. And he goes on and on about a cell phone and blah, blah, blah. Shit that don't make any sense, and I don't really care about that kind of stuff because, see, I don't fall for that type of buffoonery. But I was listening to your conversation with Mr. Shell, you two going back and forth, and now you're sitting here saying that Benny was in a room with that Shannon girl. Now, see, this is where it's going to get real nasty, because I don't know who went to whom first, because I don't follow neither one of you. So one is going to show screenshots of what you said about a man and date sites and all that. And then you get what ES, sadly his initials as my channel, to say that they were in a hotel room with a door hanger that said, "Do not disturb." So we can only imagine what those two were doing in the room, if this is true. And Queen doesn't care what you all were doing in the room. That means nothing to me, because I don't care about street people's business. But what I will say is that all of this is expected, because there are no genuine people out here that are in your peripheral. And I think by now you should know this, but I know that you are ill. So you're going to take all these goofy ass people with a grain of salt, because you don't care. That's why we know that you harmed your child, see, because you're telling on yourself every day. Every time you go live, you jump on somebody's panel, you're telling yourself. You keep getting betrayed by people you don't know. I mean, they don't even live in your town. They don't even live in Hawkins County. They don't even live in the state of Tennessee. And yet you still keep fooling with them. And I don't understand why. But then I told myself, you don't have to understand, because she's sick. She's lonely. So she's going to partake with anybody that winks at her, gives her attention. So it doesn't matter if their motive is genuine or not. She wants to be validated, such as her husband. That's why he ran to YouTube and then doused everybody with gasoline when he didn't get his way with them, and some of them figured him out. You're the same. That is the reason why you and Don were together in the first place. You two complemented one another. But you see, Candice, I bring this commentary to you because I'm a realist. I know that your time is going to be short. These games you're playing with YouTubers and social media, I know that there will be a day that you'll be probably where Don is, and there will be no more lives. There'll be no more people inboxing you, banging on the door, leaving dog food, all this old type of nonsense. It ain't going to be none of that. It ain't going to be no more Cash App. It ain't going to be no more sending you anything through the mail. It's not going to be any more of anything. It'll be people talking about, damn, they arrested Summer Wells' mother. That's what they'll be saying. And we can only hope that it happens before Donna Wells gets out of jail. Have both of you locked up at the same time. And then the House of Horrors can melt into the earth. Because I believe that's probably what will happen. You go to jail, the house will just cave in. Kind of like the movie Carrie. Do you remember that movie? Candace, they're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you. That's what these people have been doing. Secretly laughing at you behind your back, saying, look at this dummy. She'll talk to any damn body. Accept a friend request, open a messenger to a complete stranger, talk to people, video chat with a random stranger. And I question the motives of all the people who have reached out to you because somewhere deep down inside they are ill as well. And they don't want to accept it and they won't ever own it. Because who wants to own that they're deranged as well? And one could say, oh, well, I'm a Christian and all that. Nah, you can't use a Christian card with the queen. That's an old trick. You know, that's an old trick. Can't keep using that. I'm a Christian. I'm a Muslim. Sorry. That don't fly with me. Because Christianity really don't have anything to do with picking up strange people. That's idiotic. Especially people who may have killed a child. What does that have to do with Christianity? Nothing. Because there's nowhere in the scripture that says you got to go out and pick up strange people. Whether they are accused of murdering a child, human being, or appear to have done it. But this has got to stop, these games. So I'm trying to figure out how far you're gonna keep going on and on with it. These people, because they're not your friends. BK was so buddy-buddy with you and your husband at one time. Now look at you all, bickering back and forth on YouTube. And the funny thing about you is when you said you're tired of people arguing about you. That's funny because I have to think about that. Is she grouping Angela also in that category? Because I don't consider myself in a category with other YouTubers. I'm my own person. And I don't think like none of them. And I don't act like none of them. That's why people subscribe one day and unsubscribe the next. Because I'm the realest BI cinema something on here. I own all of it. I don't conform with other people's ideals. That's why I'm at 51. I don't jump on planes and trains. As I said, I don't fit into the clown car because I'm too big. That part. See, I'm going to give it to you real because these other ones, they're not going to do it to you. And you know, I live right up the block from you, basically. You're just a rock stone thrown away, stone away. Because you need somebody to have a chit chat with you and tell you to stop. It's just like that guy went on and on 2 weeks ago about you being online, talking, blah, blah, blah. You still got back up on the horn anyway. Because you're lonely. You're a very lonely human being. And I don't see things faring for you very well because now here comes this chick. She's got something to say about you. Thank you, Versi. She's got something to say about you. So she rented a room and you stayed in a room with her for God knows how long. Her child or some child was in the background and everybody was working their nerves up about that. And I tell people that. Why do you all work yourself up about every little thing that Candace does? You just run out of breath. Did you see? Did you see what she did? Did you see what she said? It's like, don't you see that's why she's doing it? It's like, what is wrong with you all? Damn, give it a rest. She doesn't care. And she does all these talking and lives because she knows you're going to run out of breath. To go spread it around in a comment box, make videos, spoofs, whatever. Ain't you to figure that out? That's the reason why Don was doing it. In the same breath, he would complain that you're bothering him, harassing him, making their life living hell. He's steady sitting up on a live. Now make that make sense. But this is my message. Another message to her. Every blue moon I do send Candice a message via live. You don't have any friends. These people are not your friends. I think you know this, but yet you still keep talking to them. Ernie Shell will be next, dear. Ain't you to figure it out? BK was right there in the phone with you. And I think he actually got jealous because you were talking to this one and that other guy. I don't know his name. Don't care. Whoever the hell you like talking to on lives. He wanted to be the only one because he was the one that had the connection to Donald Wells. But he should have known that once Donald got put in the cage, you were going to fly like an eagle. Because that's what birds do when they're free. They fly. You're not a caged bird. We're not going to get poetic because you don't know nothing about that. I know why the caged bird sings. Because you ain't in that place yet. Now, as for you others, heathens, that can't stay away from Candice Bly, what is your problem? Why must you be in the fold with this machine? I'm going to use one of Tasha K's words. Because some of you, there are no words to describe you. So machine is the appropriate word to use. Why must you be in the company of this machine? Or what are you gaining by trying to talk to her and pretend that you like her and pretend that you're aiding her and support her and innocent until proven guilty? Yeah, okay. So what are you all going to do when they arrest her? What would you say then? Will you still be reaching out, trying to talk to her? You see, some of you ought to be ashamed of yourselves because you know that we know you do not genuinely care for Candace Bly Wells nor Don Wells. You never have and you never will. And you're just doing these fake conversations for entertainment. I would no longer use the word content. As many people say in their lives, for entertainment purposes only. Because that's what it is. Entertainment. When you sit up and make a fool out of yourself and you know better, you're entertaining the masses and you like it. So as I've told people, because, an evil exists, he can't seem to understand when he makes his videos. Why are you doing this? Why is she acting like this? Why does she care? People care about her kid and she's talking to people and going live and looking for men on a date site and all that. Well, see, what you all fail to realize is that this is who she is. This is who she was before June 15th. So why would it be any different? Because all the children are gone. The children aren't coming back. I think we all know that. We're almost at month 12. It'll be month 11 here in another week. So 11 months coming up. She doesn't have one child in her possession. Her husband is incarcerated. Where do you all think the story is going? Definitely not uphill, if you get my drift. You heathens need to get a life as well. Because what you're doing is making a fool out of yourself. And there's no way in hell I would go on a live and entertain Candice Bly to the masses for entertainment purposes only. Because in the end, you're telling the world you don't really care about yourself. You don't care about yourself. You don't like yourself. And all of you searching and looking for these sick people that really don't have anything to bring to the table pertaining to Summer Wells. You're sick too. All of you are sick to me. I look at all of you the same way. I look at you all just like I look at Don and Candy. Lint balls. But what do you do with lint when you see it? You flick it off either in the garbage can or wherever the hell it falls, and you keep it moving. And that's what I think of a lot of you up here on this network. You're just a bunch of dirty, dusty ass lint balls. That's how I feel about you. And that's why I don't really care about what most of you talk about, because you ain't talking about anything. I could easily, like I said, stay in the decorating venue of YouTube all damn day long. And frankly, I'm thinking about that. Going into business maybe of staging houses, realty, and or decorating homes, because this right here is garbage. This is nothing. All right, Reese. It's disgusting to me. Candace, do yourself a favor. Tell us the truth where we can find your baby, honey. Stop wasting the taxpayers' money to pay these people to go out here and search for your child, shuffling paper, all the money they've spent trying to analyze devices and things. That costs money. That's somebody's time and it costs. And it's time for you to tell the truth where your child is. Stop these, circus acts up here on YouTube, because these people are not your friends. They're not loyal. They don't like you. They don't care for you. They are using you. And I'm probably the only one on this network that can tell you the truth, because I don't have anything to gain by fooling with you, see, so I can tell you the truth. I'm not interested in chopping it up with you, because you're never going to tell the truth about anything anyway. And I'd have to, as I said, separate the sinner from the sin if I was to sit and talk with you. And I possibly couldn't do that. But you need to tell the truth about your child. I know it's eating at you. And I know you want to tell somebody what you did with her, because it has been said about killers, they have to tell somebody. And I'm sure it's been eating at you to tell somebody what happened to Summer. And I know that if you get a little pillow talk in, since you're on the date sites allegedly, you just might do that with a bloke. He don't know that you're Candice Bly. Now imagine that. Some unfortunate fella meeting Candace, and he doesn't know all her children are gone and one's missing. So she uses the name Cindy, perhaps. And he meets her. And they go out and have a few drinks, beers, whatever they do. And then he later finds out she's Candice Bly Wells. Has a missing daughter with an open Amber Alert, and 3 boy children in foster care. And, and a husband incarcerated. My, imagine that. Candace, you ought to be tired of playing these games, and you ought to be tired of people talking about you. You ought to be tired of us making videos about whatever you did or said. You ought to be tired of people using you for content, using you to sell your information, post your information. You should be tired by now. I don't understand your mindset either, because I couldn't let nobody use me like that, not willingly. It's one thing if I didn't know you were using me, but you should know by now, all these people that are talking to you, they're using you. They don't give a damn about you. They don't care anything about you. They'll move on to another hot story and jump on it and chase it around and flap around in the floor like a damn wet seal, and you'll be a distant memory. So why don't you do yourself a favor and stop talking to these people, stop confiding in these people, stop laughing and joking with these people, because they're not your friends. There is no loyalty. They will betray you. And the next conversation you have with somebody in private, it's going to be posted to YouTube, social media as well. Aren't you tired of that? You should be tired of that. You should be tired of that. And the rest of you all, you other donkeys, you all need to grow up. Matt Gilbert said it best. Fighting and arguing with other content creators about what? I ain't getting ready to argue with nobody about Summer, Don, or nobody. Because my thing is, I'm entitled to my opinion. This is my network. I built it from the ground up, and it's mine. So I don't owe nobody no explanation about a damn thing I say and how I think. You think how you think, that's your business. You want to aid a baby killer, that's your business. You want to play with a baby killer, that's your business. You want to have sex with a baby killer, that's your business. You want to talk to a baby killer behind closed doors, that's your business. You want to record a baby killer, that's your business. You want to put a baby killer up on your channel, that's your business. You want to play around a baby killer's house, peeping through trees and driveways and standing outside chanting, like you possessed by the devil. Hey, that is your business. I don't rock like that because I'm not that lonely for attention. And that's what I'm seeing with all the people involved. pertaining to talking about the Summer Wells case. It is not about Summer. It has never been about her. It is about her bio donors and the wackos that are chasing in behind them. And if some of you could see yourselves, if you could just step outside your body and look back into the camera and see what some of us see that are woke, you'd stop. Because you look ridiculous. You look damn ridiculous. And there's no way I'm going to sit up here and argue with not one of you about a damn thing pertaining to some baby killers. I don't rock like that. And I sleep good at night for that very reason. Because I'm not putting on the same shoes you put on. So you argue, knock yourself out. You want to name call each other, call each other nasty names, and pretend you like this person. The next minute you found out with them 6 months later. This is why I try to tell a lot of you. There's no such thing as these creators trying to be friends with each other. That shit don't work. It's never worked. It can't. Because all it takes is somebody to see the content, get mad, start talking. Oh, did you see what he said? Did you see what he said? Start talking bad about you in the chat. Then here come the people in the chat talking. Yeah, I didn't like what he said. No, I didn't like what she said. I don't like her attitude. I don't like this. Who cares? Because in the end, nobody knows anybody. You people in the chat don't know each other. You don't know the creator. The creator don't know you. The creator don't know the people in the storyline. And the people in the storyline don't know the chat. And the people in the storyline don't know the creator. Just a bunch of people typing on a computer and a phone. And it's time that you all realize that this is all an illusion up here. Because there are a lot of people who are not genuinely concerned about these commentaries they're giving about these sick people. They don't really care about these people. And I think you all should see that now. That's why it's a waste of time trying to rack your brain about who did what, why they did it. Where's the kid? Nobody cares. Because the same people that beat the horse every day say they care. Oh, I care, I care. You keep seeing little things come out about them to show you that they don't. So if you really want to be invested in the disappearance of a child or a person, your best bet is to get your information from the news. Now, I'm just going to be real. That's your best bet. The news. Somebody that don't have a vested interest. Somebody that's giving you what's been said and then they clock out. Because this YouTube stuff, it has nothing to do with this child or any other missing person. It's just people talking and yapping at their jaws. They don't really care about the kids. They don't care about the people that's missing. You can look at how they act, how they talk. They don't care. I bet you most of the people that get up here and talk, they haven't done one good thing for somebody this week. One thing. One kind gesture to somebody. Did you feed somebody this week? Did you help a little old lady across the street? Did you take somebody a plate of food because they were hungry, they needed something? Did you help somebody pay a light bill, gas bill? Did you give somebody some money for gas because they can't drive their car? See, that's what I'm talking about. And that's something you rarely hear from these people when they're up here spinning these webs about Don, Candace, Pookie, Ray, Bubba. They don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. See, I speak about what I do. I've burned gas 2 days on the highway, back to back, to go give somebody food. They didn't ask me, but I wanted to do it. It wasn't just food, pillows, rugs, whatever. Make their life more comfortable. They got kids, they got family. But see, one thing I've learned about people, just because they're related to you, don't mean they're going to think about you like an outsider might think of you. Because we've learned that. Sometimes strangers treat you better than your own family. It's the way it is. And I'm sharing this because that's who I am. I've always been a giver because I don't get attached to things. And I've had the best of everything. So that's why I don't get attached to things. It doesn't matter if it's name brand, not name brand. I don't get attached to things. Because in the end, it all comes from China, most of it. So I ain't getting attached to nothing. So I say this to anybody. Do something nice for somebody today, this weekend. Do something where you're not getting anything in return. Do something nice. Say something nice. And stop falling for BS. Such as this mess that we've been chopping up for almost 10 months. This is BS, all of this. This is BS. And Candice, you really need to find yourself. I think what you should be doing, the time that you are spending on YouTube and going live with a bunch of nobodies, you should go to church and actually sit up in the church and pay attention to what the pastor has to say and take the word seriously. Because I think one day you're going to probably regret that you didn't. And you need to remove yourself from these sick ass people. And if indeed you did kill your little girl, that'll be between you and God and the courts to decide how you will be handled. And I'm not saying you can't redeem yourself. Because there might actually be somebody out here that has abused their children, murdered their children, and actually feel remorse thereafter. We as humans won't think that you're genuine or have remorse, but possibly you and others can. I don't know, because I'm not you. But I think it's time that you own your part and what you did with your child. I think it's time you realize that these games you're playing, they're going to come to an end. And you're not going to have this cushy life that possibly you're envisioning for yourself. Because I think somewhere deep down inside, you're envisioning a cushy life without Donald Wells. You've got freedom to roam. He's not around to bitch and moan, complain, and talk endlessly to a bunch of women that don't look like nothing but some baby horses. Yeah, I said that. That's the Christian side of me talking. All the attention is on you now. And you like it. You fancy it. But it's going to end. And that's what you don't see. So you're sucking it up while you can. And this is what most people do. Famous people do it all the time. I'm going to suck it up until the very end. So go to church. Go to church. Take a class. Get you some schooling to do something with yourself. Because I don't think you're going to have much time left to play these reindeer games with these heathens. I think it's numbered. And I think you need to realize that this is going to end. And it's probably not going to end very well. And I think you should realize that from Megan Boswell. She finally told them, little did we know, where her child was. We now know, found in a playhouse behind a shed in Sullivan County. She lied and lied and lied on everybody she could find. You are different. You haven't talked. You haven't pointed the finger at anybody as to being the culprit in the disappearance of Summer Wells. You kept your mouth closed, but your husband did not. But he still never said, yeah, we hurt the child. I hurt the child. She hurt the child. We sold the child. It was an accident, whatever. Because you all had enough sense to say, just don't say nothing. But I think law officials know something. And I believe Mr. Pruitt coming forward and Mr. Armstrong coming forward is possibly a sign that the bang is on its way. So if I were you, I would be trying to make arrangements on what to do with that house up on the mountain. Because what's going to happen, somebody's going to have to see about that house if indeed you end up joining your husband in jail. And God forbid, no bail for you. You can't afford a bail. And your husband is still incarcerated after the month of August. He does the whole 11/29. You two will be up Schitt's Creek. And that means somebody would have to tend to that property. Because I would see people going up there, once they know that both of you are incarcerated, they'll ransack the place, probably burn it down to the damn ground. And nobody will do a damn thing about it. And then the city will come in and possibly seize the house. Because there'll be nobody there to take care of it. Nobody to take care of it. And I don't know if your taxes are paid up. And usually taxes have to be in the arrears, a substantial amount, several $1,000s, before the city will try to claim the property. Put somebody else's name on the house, Candace. You and Don. In case both of you are incarcerated. The land is worth something. It doesn't matter about the house. It's the land. Come on now, stay woke. I thank you all for following the content. Liking, sharing, and subscribing. I will come back maybe later with a quick video to what the Academy has decided to do with Will Smith, the ramifications for him slapping Chris Rock. I will bring you that update. But other than that, you all have a lovely and safe weekend. And know that all this will soon come to an end. This mess that you've been watching transpire since June of last year. And that is just ignorant. The things you've seen play out pertaining to a missing child. I've seen a lot of cases of missing children, and I've never seen anything so vile and disgusting as this case here. This and Cal City are neck to neck. The most vile of people had the children, raised the children, lost the children, involved with the children. And that is the reason why the children are gone. And that's the one thing people can't seem to understand. How are you going to try to get something good from something bad? Every blue moon it can happen. But in these cases, it didn't. The children were the victims because they were brought here by selfish beings who did not step up to the plate to do the right thing to get the children to better circumstances when they realized they couldn't do a better job. And you will continue to have these cases until people realize they don't have any business procreating. Everybody's not made to be a parent or a caretaker. So people need to stop breeding children and need to stop taking in children. If you're not genuinely going to do the job as a caretaker, then don't do it. If you decide that you have bore a child and it's not for you, then you need to take the necessary steps to find somebody to take your child. And do not procreate again until you realize you're ready to be a parent. Because there are no rules and regulations to being a parent. There's no guidebook. You have to be in it to know if it's for you or not. And everybody's circumstances are different. Some people have help, some people don't. Some people have help and they don't still want to be a parent. They let other people do it because it's easier. Run the streets, get high, get drunk, turned up. Don't pick their kids up till late night. I know it. I've been around people who did it. Drop their kids off at 7 in the morning, then pick their kids up to 10, 11 o'clock at night. That was the routine till their kids got damn near grown. So it's not really child rearing. Somebody else is doing the job. But I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to check out of here. I saw something recently with some people. And I always say I like to own my part in what I see. But you have to be very careful what you say and don't say to people. I understand that grown people like to smoke, get high on marijuana. That's your choice. A lot of you don't think, marijuana is harmful, such as heroin and meth. And, you're entitled to your opinion. But when you sit in an open space and you do that around children, that's wrong. When you're cussing and fussing around the children, that's wrong. When you're cussing, fussing, smoking the weed, and drinking around the children, that's wrong. And somebody in the group should be saying to these other participants, hey, we should have these kids in this room while we're smoking, drinking, cussing and fussing, talking loud. You understand what I'm saying? Foul mouth language. It's wrong. Because children are very eager to learn. And they're susceptible to information. So imagine starting out, a 1-year-old is listening to people cuss and fuss and talking loud and using bad language. They're smelling like marijuana. Now imagine where that child's going to be in about 10 years. Then you got maybe a 6, 7-year-old in the room, same thing. And nobody's even thinking of the kids in the room. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what's wrong with this picture? You're setting the stage for a problem. Nobody should be sitting around children smoking weed and drinking and cussing and fussing and talking loud. I don't like it. And I tell myself, after seeing it, there's no way I could be in the company of people who rock like this because it's wrong. Even if you're just stopping by, visiting somebody, or just stopping to say hello to somebody, and then you see what's going on, you're like, oh, damn, this wasn't like this the time I came by before. It's unacceptable. And see, that's the thing. You can't tell grown people what to do in their house. You know, maybe one day, like I said, you visit somebody, it's mild-mannered, then the next day you go, it's night and day. Because everybody's imbibing and doing the same thing. And what are you supposed to say? Hey, put that up. Hey, y'all don't care about the kids in the room. It's not nobody's place to tell grown people not to smoke marijuana in front of kids, get turned up in front of kids, cuss and fuss in front of kids. They hear all that. And even if you weren't smoking or drinking, if you're cussing and calling people bitchs and nasty names, those kids can hear that. And they'll pick it up. That's when you realize everybody's not for you. It's called ships that sail in the night past each other. Your ship going one way and mine's going another. I can't be a part of nothing felonious, facetious. I don't want no parts. This is the reason why I don't visit people. I don't like going to people's houses for no reason, period. I don't give a damn. If I've known you for a long time, I don't like going to people's houses. And I rarely let people come to mine. But I've learned that some people have not grown up. And they're still in the same place that you left them a long time ago. And they have not advanced. And they have not changed. And preferably have gotten worse. And this message is to these people and to somebody that I know of. You need to get it together. Because you have a problem. And you're sinking in sand. And you don't even know it. And you remind me of Candace at this moment. You're lonely and miserable. And it shows. And your appearance, it shows. That you don't care about yourself and you don't take care of yourself. And it's a shame to look at somebody and say to yourself, every time I see you, you look worse than the last time I saw you. But you don't give a damn about yourself. And you're somebody's mother, grandmother, sister, cousin. Why? I'm never going to give up. I am never going to walk around without my hair combed. I am never going to walk around and not bathe, not wash my clothes, not have basic necessities such as furniture, bedding, linen. I will never give the devil all my time and sell my soul because I'm miserable or depressed. Not now, not never. And if you are a woman that is walking around here not caring for yourself, physically, mentally, you don't comb your hair, you won't even buy a brassiere, you won't even go buy yourself decent clothes, but you can spend your money on weed and alcohol, you need to check yourself in somewhere and get your ass some help. Because you're too old for that. And it's disrespectful to be a woman walking around caring nothing about yourself. And it's even worse that you're somebody's mother, somebody's grandmother. You got to love yourself. And it doesn't matter that somebody left you and went on with another woman. Yeah, I'm keeping it real in this life. You can do better. But you have to want better. Because no way would I want anybody to end up like this mess I'm talking about here with somewhere else. Her nasty parents. You can't let the devil have it all. Because what have I said to you all? The devil ain't paying you nothing. So you're working for free. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Andrew 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during my lives. Thank you all so much. God bless all of you. Candice Bly, tell us where we can find your baby. Tell law officials the truth. End this madness. Stop talking to these people on social media. They're not your friends. They're using you for entertainment purposes only. And I think you know this now. I think you know this now. You got to love yourself, honey. Because if you don't love yourself, who else is going to love yourself? Thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Have a safe weekend. Prayers for Summer and her brothers. Amen. Justice for this beautiful child. We're going to get it one way or the other.